It is perhaps the hardest task a family will face, planning a loved one's funeral. Well, now there is a new, first-of-its-kind tool designed to take away a lot of the stress, especially when it comes to pricing. Jeanne Schwartz is the Chief Strategy Officer for a new company called Funeralocity, and she joins us now live. I can't believe no one has thought of this before. What's the idea behind it?
Well, the idea behind it is like all businesses that are good, they start with identifying a problem that people have. And in this case, consumers have always had a more difficult time, the most difficult time in their life, trying to know what questions to ask, what things should cost, how they should get information. And so the idea is to be able to make it easy and convenient and allow people to even save some money in the process by going to one website to see all the choices that are available.
Well, here's the interesting thing. We shop for everything else online.
That's exactly
Why
right.
not funeral services?
That's exactly right. Consumer behavior has changed dramatically in the last decades with the advent of the internet, and there is no reason why it shouldn't be like 80% of people start their search for cars online. Yeah. You know, 90% of people start their search for a new home online, and why shouldn't it be the same?
Well, and here's what else I love about this idea, because I've had to plan my mother's funeral, and you're in mourning. So you're grieving, you're not thinking straight, you've got to pick up the phone and start calling to get pricing, and which is an embarrassing thing to ask, first of all, you know, how much is it going to cost? This is, you can do it in the privacy of your own home on your computer and just see what's out there.
That's right, or on your phone or your laptop if you happen to be in a hospice or anywhere. But the point is, yes, you can get information in the privacy of your own home, and you can get an idea about just what your choices are and what funeral homes are available that might be ones you would select.
So currently what happens is you really don't know what pricing, you really don't have that information, right? And by law, they're supposed to give you pricing information.
And they do. If funeral directors comply with the funeral rule, which is an FTC regulation, but it's just hard. You either have to go into the funeral home or you have to call one at a time, or for the few funeral homes that put their pricing on their website, you have to go to one website at a time. So like Amazon or anything else where you can look and compare ratings and reviews and prices and services, that's what Funeralocity offers.
Now, what about other funeral services that you have to think about? Flowers, cemetery spot, obituaries.
So Funeralocity is not in the business of planning. Our purpose is to connect people with funeral homes more easily than they're able to do today. So what we have done is provided just very basic types of information on the site in terms of different kinds of funerals that people typically choose. We want the family to go to the funeral home that they like from our site and sit down with the funeral director and go through what they're actually going to do for the service. And things like obituaries and flowers, like you mentioned, those are sort of courtesy items that a funeral director does on behalf of a family, but they don't really fall into what the price of that funeral service is. It's kind of outside.
That is good to know, because that's stuff you've got to think about. Also, if you go through your service, you get a rebate, correct?
Well, this is how it works. Okay, you go on to funeralocity.com, you put in your zip code or your address or your city, whatever, and you will have a list of every funeral home in Atlanta is on there, every one, and you can sort them by price or by search radius, or what happens is that it starts recommended. And what that means is we've created an excellence program whereby we're recruiting and partnering with some funeral directors who pass our quality standards, if you will. And what they do is they make more information available on their properties and on their services. They have pictures and videos and things on their site. And for those funeral directors, if somebody picks that home, they will get Funeralocity will give them a 5% rebate on the cost of their funeral, not including those flowers and obituaries that you talked about.
Got it. Wow. Again, I cannot believe someone didn't think of this before. It's brilliant. Thank you so much, Jeanne.
Sure.
If you would like to learn more about the funeral services cost in your area, I've done it. The website is very user-friendly. All you have to do is go to funeralocity.com.